Okay, guys, hello and good day to everyone that is currently tuning in here at Phoenix Holdings. Once again, I'm going to be your host for today's AMA CH. And right now, we got our very special guest for the project from the project named Black Sheep. We got Agent 47. How are you doing today?
Happy to be here. I'm doing great. Black Sheep has revamped and renamed from 666 to Sheeple. So happy to be here as Sheeple.
Oh, okay, got it. Sheepu is the name. Is the new name.
It's the name. It's the new symbol. Sheeple. SHEEPLE. Sheeple.
Okay, that's an interesting thing.
Funny. The good thing about this name, how did we actually got this name? Because we were thinking about something that has to do with sheep, sheeps. We were just surfing around on CMC and also just doing our digging and just checking if there's any other project named after such sheep or something. Because it must be someone must have thought of doing sheep before. And one of us, we were watching the latest Matrix. So at the very last scene, the analyst speaks something about the sheeple and anomaly and all that shit that creates opportunities, and that is where the team triggered with the name Sheeple, because it sounds so good, that really represent what Black Sheep really wants to do, and that's how we got the name. It was from Matrix.
Sheeple. I mean, personally for me, from the name Black Sheep to Sheeple. Sheeple sounds a bit more tame or more cute, I'd say. Sheeple. And
yeah.
It has a better ring for it, honestly. I mean, it tastes more to the mind, I guess.
I mean, Black Sheep still is the name of the project, but before our symbol, the ticker, was 666, yeah?
Yeah.
And so we just replaced that with Sheeple. So I think it's more cute. It has this, nice sound to it when you pronounce it. So, yeah, Sheeple it is.
That's an interesting change, I'd say, like from Black Sheep to Sheeple. So let's go from like the demonic 666 kind of Black Sheep. You went to what kind of branding are you going for? Like a bit?
No. So yeah, apparently, we thought of doing something with satanic, just for fun. Nothing too serious about satanic. Honestly, it was just for fun. People do speak about these subjects on 4chan, so we used to read a lot about these stuff, like how people have this conspiracy and curiosity behind all the the devilish work, or just creating up their own conspiracies. So that was the first approach. But in general, Black Sheep, what we wanted to represent Black Sheep as was individuals like us, who are, in crypto or looking to make, an income out of crypto, or want to be financially free with crypto, because that is normally, some people take that as a first approach, that you can get rich quick with crypto. That's what, how people got involved in crypto during the COVID when everything was locked down. Black Sheep really represent yourself and doing things what other people said you couldn't do, you can do, or you wouldn't do, or you don't have the potential to do it. And you just get to become that one person in your family and say to yourself, yeah, I will be that person. I will be, doing this and that. I'll be the first, financially free person in the family. Black Sheep itself has good, knowledge that you can truly represent yourself as. That was the approach, but then we wanted to do devilish things for fun, just to, create memes or conspiracies out of it. It was a good try until we faced the truth and the reality that you can't do such things. If you want to really, get onto such platforms like CMC, CG, they do care about these sensitive topics that they want to avoid bringing into crypto. So that is where the team and everyone immediately decided, okay, it's a quick revamp. We're not going to waste any time, and let's just rebrand it a little bit, eliminate all the satanic stuff out of the project, and now we focus on what Black Sheep really represent. Sheeps. We want the sheeps to take over the world. We have been saying this in the main chat. let the big dogs take the rest, like Doge, Shiba, Floki. They've been on the bull run. They're tired now in this bearish market. Now let a new meme coin, a true meme coin with a great community and utilities, take over. Might as well be sheeps.
Well, I have to say, you are quite an intellectual or like a philosophical person based on how you describe the history or the origins of your token. And it really sucks that I didn't thought that CMC actually cares about the satanic side of things. I know that they care so much about listing things that are associated with adult related content, but yeah, I didn't thought that satanic kind of things are also something that they look into when they're listing something. But with that being said, yeah, it's amazing that you did your quick steps to turn into the right directions, and you see the importance of listing in those major I don't know what to call this, but listing pages I get like CMC, CoinGecko. Do you also have problems with CoinGecko?
I mean, we had a problem with listing on CMC, so that was the problem, and we saw, okay, if CMC is going to give us this problem, then there's no point on going to CG and saying, okay, let's get CG and probably forget about CMC, because both of them are super important. Now, CG works really well. The API really works very well with MetaMask and Trust Wallet. They shows up the price, the value of your token that you're holding for Sheeple. So in CMC, it's more for, giving you wide exposure, because now your token, the algorithm can be integrated into so many platforms. So those two reasons, it's important to make the project more, successful in the long run, long term. And yeah, CG is important, but yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that, because I think for most projects here in the DeFi's, in the decentralized exchanges, like those are the two, probably the first steps to growing the project. So I totally understand why you steer into this new direction of the V2. So with that being said, I'm pretty sure that a lot of the people here were not here in the AMA as well during the V1. So can you tell us a little bit more about how the project works in general?
Yeah, maybe I'll share the website and just break it down as in small details, and then the rest of the people can also visit the website and do their due diligence, check the white paper, read more about the tokenomics. But I'll do a small breakdown.
Quick introduction to it, and yeah.
Yeah. So I hope you guys can clearly see the website. We have this really nice virtual, a spherical shape of Blacksheep in the space. So we get into the website. So we revamp a little bit. Blacksheep still looks nice, of what it truly represents. Blacksheep as an anomaly of who you are. So if you visit the website, you click on the white paper. But we have most of the information on the main page itself. So I'll just explain the tokenomics first. So Sheeple basically is a Binance Smart Chain token. The total supply is 1 quadrillion. There will be 36.1% manually burned before launch. That's according to what DGEM did for us. Basically, they did a financial audit of our tokenomics, and they helped us basically polished our tokenomics and fit it accordingly to price stability in terms of this market condition, and also on top of that to have a good spread of tokens going to different section of in terms of utilities, and also in terms of operations and in terms of burn. So we have a 36.1% that will be manually burned right before launch, with a circulating supply that's going to be circulating at 639 trillion. Then, of course, before I even further break down each numbers, I have to also explain about the utilities that we will have at launch. So if you go on top of the website, you have a miner over here, which is still functional. It is still integrated with V1, because we had more than 6% of the total supply was basically staked with the miner in view one by the previous holders. So if you click on the miner, you'll be able to see all the information. I will also, break down a little bit and explain, how it actually works, so people can get a clear information. So we have a miner that is available at launch. Normally, in meme coins, people are expecting, reflections. They believe meme coin comes, with reflections or some sort of reward mechanism behind it. The team basically wanted to do a little bit differently. Reflections are good because you want to reward holders for holding your coin, so that they're not just holding and not earning anything on top of it. Apart than seeing the monetary value of the coin going up or going down, but if they're holding, they also want to benefit from it, like earning and getting some, return on investment, but for holding. So we decided not to do reflections. So the team did a miner where you stake for a minimum of 14 days. So after a minimum of staking of 14 days, you are then eligible to start earning 1.5% ROI daily. After 14 days, if you will possibly say, do I have to continue to stake my coins in order to earn this 1.5% ROI daily? Well, not really. You can actually withdraw your tokens out of the miner, but you will still be eligible to earn 1.5% ROI daily, which is even better than reflection. So, for example, you withdraw and you basically sold. With reflections, you will no longer earn reflections anymore because you've sold. But with the miner, you will still be eligible to earn 1.5% daily as long as the project is alive. I cannot say forever. It will be the wrong term. I cannot say lifetime. It will be wrong term. I have to use the correct word, which is as long as the project is alive and doing well, you will continue to earn 1.5% ROI daily. That's how the miner is actually set up. Now, if you're already familiar with the miner, how a miner operates, then you will understand how this is actually going to work. On top of that, when you stake, you have a 1% tax on that. When you claim, you have a 3% tax on that. Now, apart from, just being, these are deductions, right? Apart from that, if you refer a new holder or you share your referral link with a new holder, you earn 10% from the company. Basically, the project, the staking pool will reward you 10%. So that goes for the miner. The next utility is going to be Shill to Earn. Now, Shill to Earn is a fully functional application that is already available and ready. And I'm 100% sure the owners of Phonics Holding have already watched the teaser and the preview of how the Shill to Earn actually works. So, if the community wants to also see it, then they probably will have to wait after launch when we actually release the teaser. But with the owners, some of the call group owners and some of the, partnership that we have been doing in terms of promoting the project, the owners have already actually seen the video. Shill to Earn application is going to start first as a Blacksheep native ecosystem where, normally when you shill your bag, you're shilling your bag to promote the project for more people to see and know what this project is actually about. Yeah, you're working hard for it and expecting maybe someone will check it, but often you don't get, your reward for that. Now with Shill to Earn, you will have a set of daily tasks that's up to you to fulfill. If you fulfill it, automatically you start earning in Sheeple. So when you get Sheeple points, you can, after that, redeem those points to earn in Sheeple token, which is another great way of earning passive income. Such as the first utility that I've explained, which is the miner where you stake, that's also a passive income. And then Shill to Earn is another passive income. Now, you also have shillers that actually live by shilling. And so the Shill to Earn application is also great for the shillers and raiders who are raiding and shilling nonstop daily. Before, it can be a little bit tricky and hard to track and monitor their performances because things can go, sideways in Telegram. But with the application itself, and on the admin side, with the admin dashboard, the team is able to navigate, the performances and also navigate how many tasks has been achieved and completed by a certain shiller, and a shiller will basically earn in Sheeple and further redeem and get Sheeple token, and they can trade it if they want to basically earn that incentive back in BNB or whatever. So it will first start with Blacksheep. the goal is to then further expand it as such application, as such ecosystem that never existed before. Yes, few other projects have been speaking about it now, but we have been speaking about Shield to Earn even before V1 was actually launched. During the AMAs that we had with Phonics and every other AMA, we explained the Shield to Earn, we explained how it's going to work, and the team actually had it pre-developed before even the V1 launch. So the utilities were something that we didn't want the community to expect from the team. Because normally what happens, a project launch and they say, yeah, we're going to bring utilities and this and that, but they often bring it really late or bring it later according to how the process and the progress of the project. But for the team over here in Blacksheep, they just wanted the community to unexpect like utilities and just expect, yeah, this is going to launch, this is going to do certain X and that's it. And maybe the utilities will come accordingly to the roadmap. But we surprised them. At launch, we had the miner. And then after a few days, we start showing the teaser and the video of the Shield to Earn. So it's a fully functional app that is ready. Currently, it's just improving the UI because, we're getting feedbacks from different people when they see the video and they say, oh, can you improve this? Can you improve that? So it'll even make it look more unique and better because everything is about user-friendly experiences and UI because the first look is always the most important look. So the source code is ready. Anytime it's ready to basically submit it to iOS and Android, it's going to be available for Android users and for iOS users. That's going to be the second utility. So a certain percentage of the allocation of the tokenomics is going back to these two utilities first. At the same time, on the roadmap, if we go down on the roadmap, we have P2E and we have the NFT that we want to basically do. So if we actually look into the roadmap, we want to do them, but do them actually later. We don't want to, release all the utilities at once. We want to first allow the community to get, adapted to the first two utilities, and then let the momentum grow along with, the marketing side by side. The team is going to be doing some heavy marketing, but as well, I have to remind you all, the first priority for the team is actually getting the listings done. That's the top priority for the team. So then the P2E and the NFT are going to come later, which is going to come in the utility section, which is going to be before expansion. So it will actually give more benefits to the latecomers, like the people that are going to be joining as new holders of Blacksheep, let's say at 5,000, after 5,000 holders or 6,000 holders. They're going to be pretty, they're coming in at that moment. But people who already got in early, they're going to start with the first two utilities. And those people who are going to come later, they can start benefiting with the existing utilities and something to even give them a nice push, a nice boost in terms of price or in terms of the overall momentum and growth of the project. They will have P2E and NFT to hype about, to go and give a nice exposure that, okay, Blacksheep now has NFTs and even P2E. So this is how we separate it, giving enough momentum to each utilities to perform accordingly and accordingly to the progress of the project. So that's the roadmap. I'm not going to bore you guys anymore with the roadmap. You guys can go and check it out, the website. And yeah, apart from that, we're going to be having our basically it's a whitelist pre-sale that's going to be happening tomorrow. So for those that little know about Blacksheep, so the Blacksheep basically, in short term, we would like to say is that everyone has their own desire to become unique in their own form of way, at work, at school, at home, to be someone and truly work their ass off to that place, to work really hard to become that one individual that they always wanted to be. And everyone in this AMA are here, are basically doing the same thing for themselves, whether working really hard, extremely hard, or even having a full-time job, but still using crypto as a side, a part-time investment, a part-time commitment to fulfill the needs of themselves. So we're all Blacksheep. That is what really represent. We want to bring something different, a new meme. Being a sheep is really good. I mean, because you can really relate yourself as being a black sheep, where, it will be really hard as representing Doge as an analogy of representing yourself, that I am Doge, I am Shiba, or I am Floki, because the analogy won't really represent yourself. But being a black sheep it has a lot of definitions behind it, and that is pretty much a small introduction about Blacksheep.
Wow, you say small, but I think that's quite a really healthy chunk of information. You nearly took all of my questions away, but I think that's a really good thing. And you have some really interesting utilities, and some of which I have some questions off, especially with the really unique utility in terms of staking. So you're saying that after 14 days, anyone who staked their tokens after 14 days, regardless after they withdraw their stake tokens, they sold it, they will still continuously earn, keep earning the native token as reflections, even without having zero tokens.
Yes, I was very surprised from the first time I heard that from the team, and I was like, how is that even going to work? Because normally when you sold, your reflections are over, your return on investment is over because you sold it. But this is where they added the twist because the miner has his own contract, and the miner is actually programmed in a way where the taxes are always being reinvested back into the staking pool, where it keeps rewarding for the 1.5% ROI. Now, of course, in the beginning, the team is injecting, I believe, 7% or 8% of the total supply, the circulating supply after burn. Into the pool, so that will create a sustainable ecosystem for the miner. But of course, the question comes: what if, we're now at a very much higher market cap, and the token is now even more busy? What if the staking pool start running out of the coins? What's going to happen? How are these people going to be exactly getting the 1.5% ROI? So the way it's programmed, so all the taxes are going to be just injecting back into the contract of the staking pool, and that will continue to just keep on sending out 1.5. But at the same time, the referrals where you're bringing in more people, the more people you bring in, the more taxes goes back into the pool. And at the same time, we will also be having tokens coming back into the deployer wallet from taxes, which will also be injected back into the staking pool to make it keep it running. So that's about the staking pool, which is completely separate out of the deployer contract for this reason, to let it run on its own. Yeah.
And that's a really smart way of handling the staking. But another thing I wanted to ask you this: so this is going to be reflected in the native sheeple tokens, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So the thing is about that. Let's say that after 14 days, it might create a sell pressure for those who are staking, because after 14 days, they pretty much don't have much reason to hold their token. Therefore, the value of your token itself increases. But a lot of people will always sell since they're secured of the 1.5% ROI.
But people who sell is actually good for the ecosystem. We sometimes hate sellers for always selling. We always say, be a diamond hand, don't be a paper hand. But if we don't have sellers, then we won't have enough buyers. So I think it's just a way of looking at it. At the same time, yes, you have a really good question. What if there's a chunk of sell? Then of course the team is always there, to buy back. They of course there will always be buyback. In V1 there were a lot of buybacks, just to support the chart. That is one of the reasons why the chart was holding really well for a consecutive of 11 days while waiting for CMC. It was performing really well. So there are solutions to different scenarios, but it only comes down to when the scenario really appears. But as of having a selling pressure, it really depends if it's at a good momentum, such as during a really busy volume, then it's really good. It gives an entry position for those who want to get in, and exit position for those who want to get out. So it will really come down to seeing how the scenario is at that moment. But it's always good to know the solutions to all those scenarios. But really good question.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad that you had the plans to buybacks and stuff. And personally, I've been watching the part of Blacksheep because it's all over the place. So in the V1, when I saw the launch date, a lot of people have been assuming that this is going to be like another pump and dump token, but they were proven wrong. Like, your chart really held really strong, and that's quite impressive. Knowing that you also launch at the same time where the market is dumping.
You want to know the truth? It was purposely launched when the market was dumping. That was just the whole idea of doing a really low cap with a really low max buy. It was 0.0666 BNB, which was like at the time $19 or $20 per whitelist. It was really purposely done just for fun. That's why in the beginning I said we were doing it the devilish, the satanic way. Little did we realize conditions changes the game. Yeah. In a bull run, conditions are different in terms of doing whatever you want to do, in terms of listing, in terms of what kind of marketing you want to do. The game is different. But in a bear market, condition changes again the cycle of the game, how it operates and how it runs. And we realized okay, so it's not going to work out, and we just have to change the way we have been working and revamp and make sure we follow whatever that is necessary to get us listed, because right after listing, that's where all the real marketing starts. In terms of marketing for offline investors, I'm not sure if you've seen the QR codes that have been surfing around in the main chat, that there's going to be QR code marketing in Hong Kong and Shanghai. That is completely for offline investors that has no clue, or have little to no clue, or have some information about cryptocurrency or just Bitcoin. And yeah, that is the whole purpose of why having a stable LP, it's not just good for the for everyone, but it's also for consistency. For example, of let's say the team has one of their thing that they want to do right after the listings are done is trending. So having good requirements for trending, we would face no issues of doing it consistently. So yeah, that's pretty much about it.
I think that's the advantage of being a V2 token. You definitely learn from your mistakes more. And with that being said, so you mentioned that it was kind of for fun, the 0.06 BNB. So how about the pre-sale you'll be doing now? What will be the rules for that one? The max buy?
So in V1 we did 0.0666, right? There was another zero after the point. And yeah, we did 13x, but 0.0666 for a 13x. Yeah, it's not 13x is what people get from projects that actually delivers, but having it like a max wallet of 0.0666 BNB and you did a 13x, but that's not even a BNB. So it was just for fun, pure fun. But for this one, there's no minimum buy. The max buy is 2 BNB.
2 BNB. Okay, yeah, that's definitely a huge step up from the last resale. And I'm not sure if you mentioned it, but the hard cap is
400 BNB, the hard cap.
Okay, so this is definitely not going to be low cap. Don't you think that
it's going to be the market cap is going to be around 250 to 260 or 70-ish K?
Okay. And as for the V1 holders, how were they handled? Are they airdropped or anything else?
No, so the V1 holders were given approximately a week to be part of a migration where they will receive value to value. So about 180 of them actually airdropped back, exactly before the deadline expired. And then there were about 47 holders who were from the miner that never withdraw their tokens, and they were always holding because that was the policy that was given to all of them, a week time. And with the constant reminders in the main chat, the mods, the team were always sending reminders. If you're a V1 holder, to be part of the migration, this is what you have to do. But they're going to receive value to value. And of course, there will be anti-dump measures for them because we want to protect the V2 in every case. As we've said, the team first and most important priority is listing after launch. That's what they want to achieve, the most important thing. So that's how they were handled, and I'm glad 100, let's say 200 plus of them were part of the migration. And the migration was the trading was paused at 75K market cap, which was approximately 0.9x above the old pre-sale price.
Okay, and another thing I wanted to add to that before we go to the community questions, unless you have something else you wanted to add, is how are they going to be airdropped the full amount for all of them?
No, value to value. So if it's value to value, if the trading was paused at 75K, whatever their bag was being valued at, that's what they're going to receive. That's value to value.
Okay, so I mean full amount will be airdropped. It's not going to be vested or anything.
Yeah, it's not going to be. It's not going to be vested. We don't want to vest them. There's no point. Even if you vest them, right after they are, the tokens are available for them, they're going to do the same thing at the first place, anyways. But as we've said, there will be anti-dump measures for them. So that will, kind of make them understand it's important for us to get the listing, and then after that, it will be back to normal for them. So if they, for example, if you were at the time you invested was $200, now at the time the trading is paused and it's now migration, and your bag is now worth $25, then you will receive the $25 worth of tokens.
Okay, that sounds really fair enough. And of course, I mean, having anti-dump measures, meaning that the V1 holders who plan and the pre-salers who's planning to dump will definitely benefit the entirety of the ecosystem, especially with the high taxes in place.
Yes. Taxes are going to be 9.9 at launch. We don't want to have aggressive taxes. We want to keep it 9.9, and after listing is done, then it will just drop down to 7.7, and eventually buy tax will go down to 0, and the sell tax will remain at 7.
Okay, so the highest it can get up is like 9%. You can't manipulate it to be higher.
No, I don't think we can. It will stay as 9.9.
Okay, that sounds really fair. I was kind of worried earlier, like 9.9, like 99, and I was like, okay, 9 sell, 9 buy.
Yes, my bad. 9 buy, 9 sell. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Just to clear up to the other listeners here, so 9% buy, 9% sell at launch. But to be honest, it's not that high of as an increased tax at launch, because it's still below 10%, and I think that's the fairest amount of tax you can have to the recent launches that if you're going to be having a launch, as long as it's within the single digits in terms of launch tax. Okay. I guess it's just about time for us to get some questions for the community. So, Agent 47, ready to get some questions on there?
Yes, sure.
Okay, guys. The Q&A portion from the community is now open. So I'm going to be asking or letting some people speak within the VC. So let's go first with Pinocchio. You're allowed to speak. Please ask your question.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you.
My question is, what if in the coming years the whole market falls due to the little demand of your token or tough regulations? How do you plan on keep your ecosystem? Did you get the question?
Correct me if I'm wrong, CX. Help me out over here. Your question
Can
is,
you repeat the question? Because
I think I heard the question. He said, if the overall market collapse, how will the Blacksheep token sustain and perform, and what will be the plan to protect it? Is that your question, Pinocchio?
I said, how do you plan on keeping your ecosystem alive if, in case the market goes bad due to little demand of the token or tough regulations? How do you plan to keep your ecosystem alive?
I mean, it's a good question. It's a question for every project, I think, but it's a really good question that you've asked, because not a lot of people were aware that we're going to get into this bearish market, and we launched in a bearish market. That was the whole purpose. If we look back into some of the big names in meme coins like Baby Doge, Shiba, and some other big names, but the recent case that we all know or may know a little about was Baby Doge. It was born in a bearish market, and when market was resuming back to start a bull run again, and Baby Doge just picked up. Our intentions are, let's say, exactly the same, but doing it a little bit differently because we're in 2022 now. What we used to do in 2021 may not really be helpful or useful in 2022. So things like what we're doing now as in targeting offline investors, we believe offline investors are getting some interest into crypto because now they're starting to see crypto in mainstream media as well. If you follow mainstream media, there are more topics and articles about crypto, Bitcoin, just because it's in a bearish market right now, so it's easier for them to talk more about it. It's just to get them to adapt to crypto and know that crypto is the next thing that is actually coming. So targeting offline investors is one of the way, because yes, we can always do traditional crypto marketing, always doing different types of PR work to target more people to learn more about Blacksheep and its ecosystem, such as what we have right now is Shill to Earn, because crypto, let's say, it exists more than 10 years now. And shillers were always the first thing that made crypto what crypto is today and what crypto will be in the next 5 years, because it's the shillers that are actually really putting in the work, spreading about Bitcoin, whatnot since the beginning. But there was no ecosystem for shillers. So for us to be able to actually take this initiative and to create and being able to pre-create the ecosystem and having it work with Blacksheep, of course, we're going to start with what we have now, our community, our ongoing growing community. And also after CMC is up, listings are up, we're going to start seeing more people. And then every now and then there will be different versions coming to the application to improve it for further giving it a wider exposure. Of course, team has this in the pipeline, which I'm okay to share with you guys, is to let the ecosystem adapt by other project devs, by adapting it for Twitter influencers that use their Twitter profile for doing giveaways, for promoting different projects. So we want to open up, of course, to all these influencers as well, and just adapt this amazing technology into a ecosystem for crypto. Yes, it's going to be a long journey. It's going to be not easy at all, I will say. It's never easy. It really comes in with a lot of work, a lot of giving it time and testing and making sure that it will become a thing, because you really want people to adapt to the ecosystem. And to be able to do that, we just need consistently to keep working and consistently to keep bringing out these patterns and making sure that we're not just focusing on the investors who are, or the crypto investors that already exist, but at the same time try to get other people to understand, offline investors to understand crypto through shilling. And this is just the start, I would say. But it's really good that we have them. Yeah, it's not something I'm speaking so proudly about a ecosystem, but it doesn't exist. But the good thing is that I'm speaking really about this ecosystem because it exists. And we'll just continue to improve, continue to work our way up. We just have to tackle when we're in that situation, such as in V1, when we saw that we're in a situation with listing, we immediately made a decision to revamp it. Same thing, if we're in a situation where we see that, okay, something is not working well with the ecosystem, market is not performing well, we just have to find solutions and quickly adapt to it. And yeah, that is my answer to your question.
Okay, thank you for your question and wonderfully answered. I do agree with what you said. You'll just know how to deal with it once the scenario happened. But what's important is that you have some sort of a backup plan, just in case it happens. But of course, it's still due to change on however it plays out when you're really in that situation. Okay.
Okay, thank you for my question. Thanks, CH.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you so much again for your question. So I can go to the next question. Let's go with.
Can I ask my question?
Oh, Patrick. Yeah, sure. You can ask your question.
Sure. I went to the website. I saw that one of the utility of the NFT is access to a private secret club. What are the benefits of joining this private secret group? And can you tell me more about the private secret group?
That's a really good one. Something that I didn't really purposely wanted to speak about, but yet you asked me that question. Something that I wanted to avoid. Um,
Secret
Honestly,
for a
right
reason.
now, it is secret for a reason. I'll give a little detail. We're not doing any NFTs until we reach a certain market cap. That's the plan. We don't want to really bring out everything in the beginning. But yes, acquiring the NFT will enable you to be part of the secret club. But that secret club is a total secret for now. So I have to say this. I'm afraid I can't really say much about it for now. But if we get to see each other again in AMA on Phonics Holding in the near future, I will happily explain it to you.
Okay.
That's understandable. Oh, okay. You got another question?
Yeah. Okay. So what are other utilities of the NFT? Do I get exclusive entry into the metaverse or the end?
Yes, so that one part of the NFT utility, which I can really explain. So, what we want to create with the NFT Galleria, the whole idea is to basically allow NFT holders to stake their NFTs in a Galleria where they can, for example, we have Shield to Earn. We've spoken about this and how the Shield to Earn application actually works. And with something with NFTs, we want to do another way of letting the NFT holders earn a passive income. Yeah, because NFT holders, when they hold these NFTs, either they're doing it for flipping or they have some sort of some sort of utility pegged to it. But for us, we wanted to really do it in a way that you earn passive income out of it, because there will only be 300, I believe there's only going to be 360. Previously it was 666 since the revamp. Now there's only going to be 360 NFTs. So only 360 people are going to be part of the secret club. So the utility that you will get is, if you're the holder and you want to rent out your NFT, people can actually come and rent out a pixel of your NFT or be part of that NFT for a day. But in general, after the day is over, you're earning back for what he rented. That's a small thing, a small breakdown detail I can share, because the whole utility behind it is actually quite big. But I just explain it in as small as possible.
Thank you very much. I would love to join the secret society, but yeah, that will be later.
I think everyone in crypto, especially in TG, Telegram, they want to be part of a private group where all private discussions are happening. So there's always curiosity around being in a private group. It either gives you that privilege to be in this group because you're invited to it. It's a similar thing that we wanted to give to the secret club, but it has nothing to do with being in a private group and okay, what's the next play? It's not for that. It's a complete different subject and topic. So that's why it's only for 360 people. That's it.
Okay. Thank you again for the question. And yeah, I was also going to ask about the secret club, but obviously it's a secret, but I'm glad you touched into the NFT side of things. And to be clear, you're going to be using OpenSea for it. And is Galleria a different marketplace from OpenSea?
No, it's not a marketplace. Galleria is where you showcase what you have. So it's a place where people can come and visit. Let's say, for example, if it's on our website, a virtual website, people come and visit your website as in they're inside a virtual reality, which is basically a virtual Galleria. Think of it as a virtual reality. You're inside, you're using your mouse cursor, you're walking around, as in you are basically walking around, you click the NFT and you get to see what is the description, who owns this piece, and what's the deal behind it, etc., etc. So it's not a market.
Oh, okay. Yeah, totally get it now. So basically OpenSea for trading and the Galleria for showcasing these NFTs so they can be seen better than just a normal image.
In short, it's a hangout place.
Like a lounge.
NFT Galleria. Yes.
And this is where the metaverse aspect of things also play in the Galleria.
Not that. Yeah, I mean, the perspective of metaverse. Yeah, we have the virtual aspect to it, but the metaverse itself. I mean, it's something that requires a lot of Of course, it comes with serious development, but we can work with other we can collaborate with metaverse projects where we don't really necessarily need to create our own metaverse. It's better to collaborate with a known metaverse ecosystem and just work it out because it will give a nice community exposure for other community to know about us and at the same time for us to go and get to know more about them. So that is something that the team will be doing in terms of metaverse, but the virtual aspect is going to be there in the Galleria.
Okay, got it. Okay, I think we have time for one last question before we start to wrap up things. So, Ligind, you're allowed to speak. Please ask your question. Or Legend. I did not get that. Yeah.
So about the staking, will it be locked?
The staking locked as say it again. 14 days. Minimum is 14 days, so it's locked for 14 days. And then you can unstake it after 14 days.
Okay, and I wanted to ask. Oh, is that your question again? Yeah. So in regards to that, so 14 days is the minimum, but since it's gonna be the same rewards past 14 days, it's gonna be 1.5%. Will there be any additional incentives?
So no. When you stake for 14 days, for the period of that 14 days, you don't earn anything. After the 14 days is completed, you start earning the 1.5% daily. So for that 14 days of period, that's the minimum requirement for you to stake. So your stake, that's basically locked. And after 14 days, you can unlock, you can withdraw. Basically, you can unstake, you can withdraw, and you start earning the 1.5% on the day 15th. Yeah.
Okay, and will there be any additional incentives? Let's say, will you have an option to stake past or more than 14 days and it will be giving out a bigger reward, or are you going to limit it to just 14 days?
So let's say you stake today, whatever you had. Let's say you stake 10 coins today, and then you decided to stake another 10 coins the day after tomorrow. You will not be part of the same 14 days that you have staked today. You have to also repeat the same process and follow for the next 14 days. There's no other incentives on that, but if let's say, for example, you shared your referral key and people start joining on the referral key and mining, basically staking with the miner, you're earning already incentives on that, which is 10%.
Okay, so I guess referral is what gives out
more incentives.
Right
yes,
exactly.
Extra incentives. Yes. So you see, I mean, in the beginning, it's going to be, let's say, because people are so familiarized with the reflections because it's automatically done in your wallet. So when they get to understand the procedure and once they're part of this process, they will start knowing how effective this is, and this could become the new thing. Miner is already a thing, but earning ROI daily after even if you've withdrawn, that will become a new thing. And it's better than reflections because reflections just affect the, for example, you renounce the contract, you will no longer be able to fix it unless if you can. But with the miner, if it's already fixed in the traditional way, it will stay like that forever. Not for, I don't want to use the word forever, sorry. As long as the project is alive and doing well and great, then yes.
I love your realistic comment on that one. So yeah, I think that's the best kind of passive income. You don't need to hold any token as long as you've done your part. Like staking it for 14 days.
That's it.
You just earn money every day.
You just have to lock it for 14 days, and then after that, it's just a nice side income. If the project does great, once the bull market starts and Blacksheep is doing well, the potential is there. It is really there because on Twitter, we have been trending. If you go and search the hashtag Blacksheep, it has been trending for the last, let's say, 2.5 weeks. Ever since we were launched, it has been trending since we won. So this has already created a solid, stable establishment in terms of the Twitter algorithm has already been frequently used of Blacksheep hashtag. So after the launch, I think this was our advantage. I think V1 was a good advantage. I'm not gonna lie, people do say V2 can sometimes be bad. I mean, the team and a lot of other people really think that V1 was a great advantage since it was a fun play. It worked out. It showed its potential, surviving for 11 days without CMC, without any big calls. There was no calls, and now that V2 is well prepped, the potential is really there. The V1 was a good advantage. Lesson learned, I will say.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, as mentioned, we learn from mistake the best and mistakes the best. So, yeah, you're definitely utilizing it to the most of your advantages. Okay, I think that's pretty much it for the community questions. And for the people who still have questions here that were not able to be covered within the AMA, I encourage you to please join Blacksheep on their Telegram group. And I'm sure that Agent 47 and the rest of his team will be more than happy to answer all of your questions, perhaps except about the secret club or private club for now. But of course, stay tuned in and maybe they'll drop off some information like in the near future. Okay. And yeah, I guess to wrap things up for this AMA, I think it would be great if you can give out a short summary, especially for the people who are quite late to joining this AMA, on what Blacksheep is all about and why people should be investing in it in the near future, specifically tomorrow on pre-sale and the launch date as well.
I think the important thing is that we're doing it in a bearish market. We're not just targeting investors in Telegram and around Telegram. We're purposely targeting offline investors. So that's a really good thing for not just Blacksheep, but for crypto, but of course Blacksheep first, because they're going to come with Blacksheep. The low cost, but the chances are really high. We're starting this weekend from Hong Kong and China. Shanghai, I believe, is where it's going to be going. And next week, possibly Paris and Belgium. So yeah, the potential is there, guys. We're putting in the hard work. And with that being said, be part of Blacksheep and, let's have a great one. I don't have anything else to add to make it more persuasive. I don't want to do that. It'll be wrong. So yeah, welcome to Blacksheep at the end of the day.
Exactly. Guys, so yeah, as mentioned, please don't forget to join them in the Telegram group. And you have quite an unorthodox method of marketing, which I am a big fan of, doing something different. Targeting the offline users?
Mm-hmm. We call it guerrilla marketing. That's exactly what we're doing. So, but I think the offline marketing will really, so the whole point of doing it in Hong Kong, if you look into Binance, Hubei, Kraken, FTX, and a few more exchanges, they all have their headquarters in Hong Kong. Even BitMEX, they all started from Hong Kong. They still have heavy establishment in Hong Kong, heavy influences in Hong Kong and Shanghai. Shanghai is specifically because of CZ. So there's a big, the upper management crowd is in Hong Kong. So it's not bad to do it in the place where the real crypto really started, the mad exposure and the wide help of these centralized exchanges. That's the why we want to do it. Although it is going to be risky, but we're still going to do it, so it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's all about risk. Crypto itself is a huge risk in terms of investment. So yeah, what better way to do it than enter risk, but still back with experience and, from the past experiences that you got in terms of launching a project. So I guess that's all from us here in Phoenix Holdings. We'd like to thank you and the rest of your Blacksheep Sheeple token. Do you still go by branding by Blacksheep, or do you want to completely eliminate that?
The Blacksheep is represent each of us, but when we hold the token, it's Sheeple.
Okay, so I guess it will be Blacksheep.
Yes. Yeah, Blacksheep, but the ticker is Sheeple, so Sheeple and Blacksheep, same thing, but it's going to be fun.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Blacksheep and the will be Sheeple, so keep that in mind, guys. And their resale is going to be tomorrow. It's whitelisted. Will there be any other ways to get any whitelist to have a chance for that?
Well, I mean, surely we can do for Phoenix Holding and its amazing community. So, you can play duck race with them and give away some, T1 whitelist and T2 and see who wins in the most fairest way. I think duck races. If
the
you
most
want to
random
do it
way.
the most random way. Yes.
Okay, I guess that's something that you can discuss with Titan in terms of giving away the whitelist, and yeah, we'll get it done right after this AMA. So yeah, that's it for us. Thank you guys for listening into this AMA today, for all the listeners, and yeah, thank you. That's gonna be it for me tonight rather. And yeah, we'll see you again at the next AMA.
Thank you, CH. Thank you, Phonics, and thank you everyone for attending.
You're welcome, guys. See you again next time, hopefully in the near future. Bye-bye.